Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants, where I am joined by one co-host while the other one is trying to bake her potato, Ishtar from her own Twitch streams, and where she helps over at Voices on Cyberdemon Gaming.
Sup.
Sup, that's it. That's all I get.
Yeah. And actually, it's not all you get, it's all the chat gets. Thank you, Allie. I have a new lipstick. It's very bright. I'm very pleased with it.
Wren will be joining us as soon as the potato kicks back on. My name, of course, is Antoine the Great, and I'm the host of Help for the Guildless, as well as MSNBC. How's your day going, Ishtar?
Yesterday I dropped one of my eyeshadow palettes and it shattered. Today I dropped the other one, which didn't shatter, but it did land on the corner on my toes. And I was very unhappy about that.
So what I'm hearing is you're just dropping your mascara, or whatever it is.
Eyeshadow.
Eyeshadow.
Totally different things.
You've dropped 2 of them now?
Yes.
I mean, it's just one colour. It's not like it's that big of a deal.
No, it's a palette. It was like 16 colors of very cool galaxy-looking blends that just shattered completely. And I was very unhappy about that.
Well, you shouldn't drop them on your feet.
Well, I've never had my palette shatter before. Fortunately, the one that I dropped today did not shatter. Those are pressed powders. It did much better. Yes, Hadoken, you have to pretend to be concerned about my makeup. I have invested a lot in my makeup. And thank you guys, Wild Breath and Malik. I'm glad you guys like the color.
Well, let's go ahead and, speaking of the chat, let's go ahead and say hello to who's here. They've been waiting a bit.
They've been very patient.
Ray has jumped in with a preemptive Mitzi first.
Aww.
Stole it right out from underneath her nose, because Mitzi happened to be second. And then Ghost Dog is third, and then we have Ali coming in with the honourable mention. I think it's the first time she's been in the top 4. Anyway, that is our gold, silver, bronze, and, well, participation trophy. So hello to the 4 of you. Let's see, Wild Breath is here. How's it going? Ben C is here. Yeknomeno and I hung out along with Magog in the chat over on his birthday stream.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And did you know that Magog shares a birthday with Markiplier?
I did not. I do now.
I don't know if Markiplier wants to have this share a birthday with a necromancer, but there you go.
You know, it might save him in the future.
with the way that he and Ethan are going on Unis Honest, I wouldn't be surprised that one of them ends up dead.
Unis Honest is it's a thing.
Zio Gold's here. How's it going, Zio Gold? Damn Alien says good morning. Malik is here. He deleted one of his messages. I don't know what it said, but it says message retracted. So Pen is here. Says raw. How's it going, Pen? How's it going, Great Hadoken? Let's see who else. Anyone else I'm missing? I don't think so. Malik says Antoine's the great leader of Army of Snarkness, fighter of stupidity. How do you do, my friend? I am doing superb, Malik. It's been a good day. I got to lounge around all day and play computer games because I had a very trying day yesterday. Someone broke into the hideout again.
Did they?
Yes.
You didn't kill them, did you?
Well, it's kind of hard to kill him when he's someone we all know.
No, you can still kill them. It's just whether or not it's a smart move.
Well, I mean, it was King's Night. He decided to break in.
Oh.
Zero Gold asks, did you guys hear about what happened to Grade A Under A? Yes, I did. Grade A Under A is a YouTuber. I believe he got demonetized or he got yeeted from YouTube. We got $15 from Ghost Dog. He says, purr for the ladies. Wren, Ishtar, you look beautiful tonight. Wren goes, 5 goes to Wren for the new potato.
Aw, that's sweet of you.
I will wait until Wren gets here to do the purring.
Probably a good idea. She would not be happy to have missed that.
Also, Ben C says, is the makeup you dropped, is it for when you want to cosplay as Mimi from the Drew Carey Show?
No, I hope I will never, ever, ever wear so much makeup that I look like Mimi.
I mean, I will laugh at you. Hard.
I hope you slap me.
I'll let you go on camera and just laugh the entire time.
No, no. I expect you to slap me. No. Well, I am going for some more dramatic eye and lip looks. I don't ever want to go that bad.
So, no, Bensi, I have stayed away from beauty YouTube, although I heard that there was some ruckus going around between Shane Dawson and a bunch of people. Blair White said something about it, and I think it was on the Philip DeFranco show today. It's not anything really important, just, sexual assault allegations, people stabbing each other in the back. For those people who have been in the commenter community, that's just a normal day. So, beauty YouTube is now getting a taste of it.
Wow. That's really all I can say is just wow.
Ben would like to know how much to donate to get you to cosplay Mimi from the Drew Carey Show.
That's a question. Slap or spank what?
If you let the makeup get as bad as Mimi from...
No, flat out slapping.
Ah.
Because I actually want to have taste. I work hard to get, my face to look at least moderately decent.
Malik asks an interesting question. I don't know if I should reveal it to you humans or not. Asks, as a cyber demon, what kind of powers do you have? Well, you know of a couple powers there, Ishtar.
I do know a couple powers, a couple of which I don't really want to broadcast. Thanks.
I will say this.
That was a nice little secret for myself.
I will say this, Malik. One of my abilities is definitely to use the internet as my plaything. Damn Alien asks another question. A better question is how much for Antoine to do the cosplay. Lots. That's all I'm saying. Lots.
Yeah, you can't afford it. To be perfectly honest.
Well, do we want to get started while we're waiting for Wren to show up?
I'm here.
Oh, there
You
she
made
is.
it!
Potato decided to be a bitch.
We figured.
Ooh.
Welcome, Wren.
Hey.
How are you?
So
Good.
my second co-host has decided to show up after she decided to bake her potato. Wren from Renelations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Hey, guys.
So, Ghost Dog has donated $15. And it says, per for the ladies. Wren, Ishtar, you look beautiful tonight. Wren, 5 goes for the new potato. So, you get to come in again and get a purr right away.
Nice.
It's because Ghost Dog is a sweetie boy.
Yes, he is.
Very nice.
Very nice.
All
Malik
right.
has missed you.
Yes.
I missed. Yeah, I'm sure you did, Malik. I like having the camera on. Just we found a way to get Potato to play nice for a little bit.
For a little bit. I give it 5 minutes.
Longer than that. A fresh restart helps it out.
Yeah. That's true.
Ray says, Wren, new headset, or did you not know you aimed your camera torso level?
The camera is not on the up level. It's just down here. And I think I've had this headset on camera before. It's the pink one.
Yeah, you have. I just know that it's at torso level to tantalize the people in the chat because now they really don't know if you're wearing pants or not.
Yeah.
I
How
mean,
are they gonna...
Kinda her point.
They saw your bare knee, but I think that was about it. We can leave that up to the imagination. So,
Yes.
shall we get started?
Sure.
Let's.
What did we started with Florida Man last week, did we not?
Yes.
Well, how about we start with some cringe first?
Okay. Well, let's see. That one is for after. So let's start with some food.
Food.
Costa has launched Coca-Cola coffee.
What?
Coca-Cola coffee.
I don't like coffee at the best of times. Now you want to make it flavored like coffee and Coca-Cola?
We weren't
Yes.
asking you.
We weren't asking you, and people do have thoughts. Whenever Costa Coffee releases a new flavored drink, people flock to try it. But their latest creation has some people feeling a little conflicted. The company has teamed up with busy drink giant Coca-Cola to create a range of cola-flavored coffees.
No.
They announced their new partnership on a post on LinkedIn, and it's fair to say a lot of people have thoughts about the new drink range, including a Coca-Cola latte and cappuccino.
Bleh. Why? How's it going, Best Remy? You came in just as we started to hear about the brand new craze out there for coffee drinkers putting Coca-Cola in it.
Yes. Their post read, the summer campaign has landed in China, and we are really excited by the first ever Coca-Cola flavored coffee range. This is something we cannot wait to try.
Of course it's China. If it wasn't China, it would be Japan.
Yeah.
I would be more comfortable if it was Japan, to be perfectly honest.
Japan, you could see the weird.
Japan, you expect the weird. China,
Point.
you just go,
Yeah. The new hot drinks launched in China in May 2020, and a cold brew version will be joining the menu there in July. It's an unknown yet when it's not yet known when the drinks will be available to buy in the UK, but the lack of availability hasn't stopped people from commenting on it. So
Of course not.
basically,
Everybody's got an opinion.
it's only in China at the moment. They don't know when it's going to be available everywhere.
Well, Ghost Dog says this might be a bit much, but he does love coffee. Malik says Coca-Cola coffee sounds like an okay combo. Damn Alien wants to know, can't we just go back to putting cocaine in the Coca-Cola? And Yaknameno says, we heard you wanted more caffeine in your cola, so we added coffee to your cola so you can get more caffeine in your caffeine.
Well, see, if you really want caffeine, there's a coffee called Death Wish coffee.
Yep.
It
And
is.
apparently it is packed full of caffeine.
No one needs that much caffeine.
Some people do.
Alright, so what are the people saying about this, Wren?
Wren? Did we lose her again?
I do believe we lost Wren. So I will finish off what they said.
Internet connection.
Oh, there we go.
There she is.
Okay, yeah, I had to turn off the camera since the camera seems to be the problem, unfortunately. But you guys got a little peek of me before before the camera had to go off for the sake of potato.
Ray says put a P in the chat for the potato kill.
Unfortunately, to kill potato, it cost me $500, and that'd be to replace it.
That's an expensive potato.
Only 500?
Only 500 to replace potato. To get me at least a decent one, because then the original plan is Minion gives me his beast, which is good, when he can afford to upgrade, but it'd be 500 for me to get a potato that would run me till then.
That's not actually bad.
No, it's not horrid. Especially when you have a good tech minion who knows what to look for and what to find so that way you get the best deal.
Yeah.
Ben wants to know, why can't we have high caffeine soda drinks? Because children turn into hellions.
Oh no, there are high caffeine soda drinks and they're awesome.
Zeo Gold,
but you can never give them to children.
Zeo Gold is accusing Snoofles of messing with your potato.
You know, that's a possibility.
Maybe.
When in doubt, blame the panda. All right. So what did they say about this interesting combination?
Alrighty. Let me get to do. All right. A lot of people were to go down here. One person wrote that is interesting. Okay, to be fair, interesting idea. A lot of worth the tries and not sure about this one. Now, this comment's clearly from someone who doesn't like Coke to begin with. How disgusting is that? Coca-Cola is disgusting enough without making it ruin a good coffee.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
They're not. See, Ishtar is a fan of the Coke.
I am.
She is not a Pepsi drinker.
I have been known to drink Pepsi, just not as eagerly as you would think.
Yeah. A sixth person did say, not sure about this one. Match made in heaven or a step too far. So they're going either way. It seems to be a lot of people kind of guessing, is this a step too far?
Yes.
Is it not? I don't know. I thought a lot of we used to get stuff from Japan in a crate every month, and we got a Pepsi that was flavored like sakura flowers. And it was actually surprisingly good. Japan, so Japan makes weird things work.
Flower flavored Pepsi. All right.
It's sakura flavored Pepsi. And it's actually good. Like, so there are weird combinations that you would not think work, but they work. You really do have to just kind of go with try it and see.
Huh.
So, Gotta say hello to a couple people in chat. Hello, Clever says thanks for doing these shows. I really need this goofy escape in the world right now. Appreciate that. And Cinder Shadow, how's it going? All right. No, damn alien, you are not the only one old enough to remember Joke Cola.
My work used to still sell that up until a couple months ago.
Yeah, it had a resurgence.
It did, and it was nearly lethal.
Oh, come on. They also say you're not supposed to drink more than a couple of Monster drinks in a day.
People still do it, and it's still lethal.
It can be. All
It
right.
can be.
Let's go with some science.
Let's see.
You see, the combo of Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola is not bad.
It's not bad. Dr. Pepper and ham, using Dr. Pepper as a ham glaze is amazing.
I've heard that.
I will have to try that.
It's a very southern thing, but if you mix the Dr. Pepper with brown sugar and put it over a ham, it creates a sugar glaze.
Wow.
Yes, I've been through many a giant monster can there, Ben C.
Well, that sounds good, but you know what doesn't sound very good?
What?
The Blair Witch director returning with a new movie called Skyman.
Wait,
No.
is this the original Blair Witch or the new Blair Witch?
The director of the Blair Witch Project is back with a new found footage movie about an alien visitor.
Oh, great. So now instead of a witch that we never get to see and everyone get motion sickness from the found footage, now we have to worry about aliens and having the same thing happen.
Back in 1999, Daniel Myrick Eduardo Sanchez's iconic low-budget found footage hit proved so successful that it popularized an entire genre and left cinema audiences questioning whether or not what they had seen was entirely fictional. Now, Myrick is returning with a new found footage movie, Skyman, which takes the form of a faux documentary covering the activities of a man who, determined to prove that mankind is not alone, attempts to reunite with an alien visitor that he had encountered decades ago as a young child. Speaking to Sci-Fi Wire, Myrick explained that the movie is heavily influenced by his own childhood in Florida, where he once formed a UFO club with his friends. It was in the late 70s, early 80s when UFOs and Bigfoot, things like the Bermuda Triangle, were all the rage, he said. Me and my friends did a lot of research on abductions and whatnot. This ended up resonating with me, and years later, I wanted to create this hybrid character that tapped into and was inspired by a lot of those stories. The movie will open at select drive-in cinemas next week.
Drive-in cinemas?
Yes.
All right.
There is a trailer.
Yes, we were going to watch the trailer. So, a little bit of movie history. The original Blair Witch was made for $35,000. It made over 120 million. To this day, it is the highest grossing picture in cinematic history.
It's pretty intense.
I, for one, could not stand it.
I don't like it, but I can see why people do like it, and I'll give it that.
Unfortunately for me, it made me motion sick, and the story was just so droll. Like, let's not talk about the Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows, that had nothing to do with it. But it did create the found footage craze. Now, they did one thing wrong.
What's that?
What?
Well, everyone knows that the Blair Witch's advertising campaign was built around the fact that this was found footage of something that really happened. And since the internet was not a big thing back then, no one knew if it was real or not. Up until a week before the premiere of the movie. This was being touted as a real story. So up until a week of the movie, the stars of the movie went on The Tonight Show and did an interview. Ruined the mystique. So it's If they wouldn't have done that, if they would have just waited until a week after the premiere, it would have made even more money, because it is given as, went back in the day, I can't believe I'm saying that about something in the 90s, there was no internet to talk about these. It was just all advertising, so people were speculating if it was actually real or not. There was a disclaimer at the beginning of the movie, and it just ended. There were no credits. Like, it was a phenomenon that they ruined by having the stars come out a week before it opened.
Yeah. That is a shame.
Let's watch this trailer, shall we?
Let's.
Were lighting up with reports of an alleged triangle-shaped UFO in the
Some local residents claim to have seen an unidentified flying object just after sunset last evening, with one young man even claiming to have been visited by what he describes as a sky.
Oh, more shaky cam.
Didn't look human. I knew he wasn't a human.
He has been so razor sharp focused. I guess I just figured he was finally like ready to tell his story.
VHGH.
I'm telling you, it was really, really loud. I was standing right here, and it was like zzz.
It's our magnet, or what's left of it. It was propelled somehow.
Okay, so what? You really think that aliens did that?
I don't know what to think, Gina. All I know is something's going on, and I don't think it's human related. Arthur C. Clarke once said, "A sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic." And I've always liked magic.
You know,
I kind of want to see it.
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily interested. It does look interesting, but so did Cloverfield, and Cloverfield sucked.
Yeah. Hey, I will wait till it's online and I can watch it there, and then I'll see if I like it or not.
I mean, I'm not taking it. Like I said, it does look interesting, but I, for one, am not willing to fork out the money to go to the theater to see it.
I want to go see it.
All right, I'm sure you can convince Matt to go watch it with you.
Probably.
Most likely.
Well, speaking of going out, since there are a bunch of things happening where people are starting to be able to go back out again,
Uh-huh.
Florida Man has started his old tricks.
We are so happy for that.
Are you really? Because
Yes, actually.
there is a very young person that wishes he wouldn't be.
Are we about to veto somebody?
I don't know, but it is over the whole mask thing.
Hey.
So, Florida Man, angry over store's mask rule, exposes himself in front of children.
There are other ways to show you're angry. You don't have to do that.
I mean, maybe he got so angry he popped a boner. I don't know. It's just, this isn't necessarily the way you want to go about this. A Florida man angry about being asked to wear a mask in a store dropped his shorts and exposed himself while unleashing a stream of vulgarities at females in the business, deputies said on Friday. So he's trying to swing for the fences with this one. Although I think his bat is a little short on wood. Paul Ellie Daniel Duvall, 37, of Miami, was charged Thursday with indecent exposure, disorderly conduct, and driving with a suspended license, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office said. Just got to throw that last one in there, right? He drove on a suspended license.
Yeah.
The incident took place at the gift shop of Theatre of the Sea, a marine-themed tourist attraction in Islamorada? All right. Duvall was asked by an employee to put a mask on. He declined to do so and began speaking in vulgar terms, particularly to the women in the room, including one minor girl, about his genitals, their bodies, and pornography. Because, that's where you go when you're asked to put on a mask.
Yeah, that's exactly where you go.
I'm assuming alcohol is involved in this.
More than likely.
Witnesses said more than one child was in the store at the time as Duvall continued using coarse and foul sexual language. A deputy stopped Duvall shortly after he left the store Thursday morning. Duvall told the sergeant he had to urinate and went to use the gift shop bathroom, but the staff refused to let him use the restroom, so he exposed himself. Well, I mean, to quote Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't choose the best time to go, though.
Yeah, just better timing, but
Yaknamena says 3 squares of the Florida Man bingo filled in. If he had an alligator, it would have been a bingo.
Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should put together Florida Man bingo cards.
What, an MSNBC bingo
Yeah,
card?
something like that.
I'm sure we could do something.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Damn Alien says when you started with exposed himself and unleashed a stream of, I feared something worse. It was just a short article. I have another one that's just as short, and it has to do with not Florida Man, but Washington Man.
Washington Man.
Specifically, the Washington governor.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Okay.
Ishtar, you live in Washington. I live in Washington. Did you know that there's a order that everyone has to wear a mask?
Yes. It's very stupid.
So you don't agree with this?
I just get annoyed by it.
I mean, I know they say it's for people's protection, but
you know what? They also say a lot of things are for your protection. Doesn't necessarily mean it is.
all right. Well, the governor sees fit that you're going to wear a mask whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the problem is in.
Yes, because the Washington governor announces misdemeanor charges for people who don't wear masks.
That's where we're going too far.
I would like to remind the governor that he doesn't make laws by decree.
Well, he still announced misdemeanor charges. So starting Friday, June, so it would be June 26th, so this was 4 days ago, individuals in Washington state who don't wear face masks in public could face misdemeanor charge, Governor Jay Inslee announced. Washington joined several states Tuesday in instituting a statewide mask mandate amid an uptick in positive corona cases, saying facial coverings are crucial in slowing the spread of a virus. Do you want to know what else is crucial in stopping and slowing the spread of a virus?
What's that?
Not having thousands of people in a single spot in a city all not wearing masks.
Very true.
But don't you know the protesters aren't causing the outbreaks?
Oh, yeah, I know. Matt talked about that. If there's an uptick in coronavirus, it's not because of the protesters, it's because of racism.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think of these face coverings in some sense as a statement, Mr. Inslee said at a press conference. People reported, it's a statement that when you wear it, it means you care about people, because it means you want to reduce the risk that you're going to infect another person. So not caring about people is enough to get you misdemeanor charges and a fine.
What are they going to do about people with, say, like, I have a coworker who has asthma who cannot wear a mask because it causes breathing problems for them.
Oh, apparently they're fucked.
As well as Oregon has made a decree that only white people have to wear masks. They quickly retracted that.
Yeah, I bet they did.
I don't think Mr. Inslee remembers that he works for the people of Washington.
No, none of them do.
They don't work for him. Mr. Inslee said the order requires people to wear masks in indoor spaces as well as outdoor spaces if social distancing rules cannot be followed. So I want to point this out. This is why I'm calling it Washington Man, because this is the dumbest fucking thing ever. He's making it a statement of that you care about people. Do you want to also make a statement about caring about people, like kicking them out of their apartment that they lived in 24 hours? Or destroying buildings? Causing people to lose their jobs? Destroying a public park? Is there anything else that I could mention that the Chaz has not done that would show it doesn't care about other people? Are we going to charge them all with misdemeanors?
No, because that'd be racist.
Why? It's mainly white people.
Something racism, something protest, something bigots.
I get it. The virus is ideologically driven. Is that it?
Yes.
So they were causing, Trump having a rally is bad because it's going to cause people to get coronavirus. Having a protest about the stay-at-home order is going to cause people to get coronavirus. But the moment you say Black Lives Matter, well, you are suddenly immune to the coronavirus.
Yes.
Dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
No one said it made sense or that was logical. That's just the way it is.
I would also like to point out that it is a human right to not give a flying fuck about other people. And right now, looking at Twitter, I really don't give a flying fuck about most people.
Wait, you gave a fuck to begin with?
I try to. I try to be a nice person and be compassionate and understanding and care about my fellow people's well-being and equality and all that. But I'm starting to seriously not give a flying fuck.
Yeah, she's one of those weird ones that believes in humanity.
I do, unfortunately. Speaking of, for those of you who are interested, I have a Parlay account now. You can find me at Ishtar JMD. Just so you know.
I'll eventually add that to the Nightbot stuff.
Yeah, eventually.
Willful violation of this order is tantamount to a misdemeanor, he said. No, it's not. I can have a peaceful protest of protesting the mask. There's nothing you can fucking do about it, Inslee. And if you do charge me with a misdemeanor, 1, I'm going to laugh at you. 2, I'm going to laugh at the cops that gave me the misdemeanor. And 3, I'm going to take you to court.
Yeah.
Individuals...
Hallie has it right. She has true equality. I don't give a fuck what color your skin is. I hate people equally. Allie, there you go.
Yeah.
How's it going, James? James says it's because so many of us have white fragility.
What the fuck is white fragility?
Oh, it's the same thing as male fragility. As soon as white people get any bit of pushback, we fall to pieces about oppression and how it's not fair.
I don't usually fall to pieces about anything unless it's particularly inconvenient to me. And even then, I get irritated. I don't fall to pieces.
I don't fall to pieces. I can want to bitch people out, but that's people are stupid sometimes.
So, Wren, he answers your question about your friend who has asthma, who can't really wear a mask. Individuals who are exempt from the order include children younger than 5 and those who are deaf and hard of hearing. So the person who's hard of breathing is fucked.
That's not a fair thing to do.
The move came after Yakima County, located just southeast of Seattle, reported a massive shortage in both intensive care and non-intensive care beds. That possibly could have something to do with all the fucking idiots that are getting shot and mugged and harassed and assaulted and raped inside the Chaz.
That could. That could definitely. Though that is stupid that they don't have a medical exemption. Even my work, when they were enforcing masks, had a medical exemption.
Technically, they should, because they can get sued for forcing someone to do something like that. My work, technically, it is mandatory to wear it 100% of the time. But you know what? A lot of us just take it off while we're at our bench, and we put it back on when we're out walking about and interacting with people. I have walked around my shop. I walked around the shop without my mask more than a couple of times since that became the company decree, and my boss just looks at me and goes about his day because it's not fucking worth it.
My boss, we have so many boxes of masks. They're like, masks are mandatory. And we all stared at our manager, looked back at us and went, if you see the supervisor, my boss, come in, wear a mask. All the rest of the time, fuck it. Unless corporate comes in here, we're not doing it. My boss is awesome.
I was going to say, your boss understands. The healthcare system, quoting, because of COVID-19 infections, is so stressed that there is no room at the hospital in Yakima County. There are no rooms available to people for this treatment in Yakima County, the governor said. CBS News reported. Yakima.
Yakima.
That means that patients are having to be shipped by ambulance outside of Yakima County to Seattle and other places. We do not want to see that condition spread across the state of Washington. It's kind of late for that, Inslee. Washington was the first case. So you're fucked, sir. But it was another short article. Inslee is trying to steal the stupidity from Florida Man.
Malik, you are absolutely right. I do have hearing issues. I often have to tell people, you have to speak up. I can't quite hear you. And these masks are making it so difficult for me to be able to hear anybody.
Oh, wait. For most places, though, that's got to suck for people who are deaf. Everyone's wearing a mask. If they can't lip read, they can't lip read. So they almost, in order to accommodate their whole thing, you'd have to force people to take off the mask just so that it's fair.
Wren, what is this article you just sent me?
A new one that Blame the Minion, he found it for me.
Why?
'Cause I'm known for doing the fashion stuff. And this apparently is fashion.
No, it's really not.
Well, hey, we're going to talk about it. All right, chat. I'm going to play a guessing game. What 2 types of shoes had a baby and created the mullet of Southern shoes?
Yeah, these 2 shoes had a baby and they should have had it aborted.
Stilettos and combat boots.
Stilettos and combat boots actually make a cute combo, but...
What?
I have a pair. They look awesome.
That's actually a thing?
There are high-heeled combat boots. They look sexy as fuck. And they are a thing. And no, it's not Crocs and pumps. Though that would be an abomination.
Huh.
So... first, let's go through. Ray says, "Do you think people wearing gloves sound funny when they doing sign language for deaf people?" Yakimeno says, "Blame the minion or blame the panda." Ray also says, "Crocs and pumps. That's a horrid combination." Ali says cowboy boots and sandals. Damn Alien says clogs and scuba flippers. Ben says Crocs and cowboy boots.
Cowboy boot Crocs would probably be a thing of nightmares. But Allie won. Redneck boot sandals exist, and they're basically the mullet of shoes.
These are an abomination. This is an abomination. This is horrible.
No.
If you've been dreaming of a way to wear your cowboy boots in the heat of summer, dreams do come true because there's a company that'll turn your beloved cowboy boots into sandals.
Or you could not do that and just get sandals.
Yeah.
You could. Redneck boot sandals offers to customize your boots into sandals so you can wear them in the hot months without breaking a sweat. Basically, you'll send them your boots and they'll reconstruct them into redneck flip-flops and send them back.
You know, you could always wear socks.
There's that.
The idea for the boot sandal came about when CEO Scotty Franklin was relaxing on the beach in the Gulf Shores, Alabama. Of course, Alabama. When he noticed another man wearing his cowboy boots on the sand. Scotty thought the poor fellow shouldn't have to sacrifice cowboy fashion in order to stay cool on this hot day, and looked down at his own feet and saw his flip-flops, and wondered if he can cut his boots and make them into flip-flops for the ultimate combination, according to the Redneck Boot Sandals website. Franklin went home and did just that, and now he runs a business cutting boots into sandals for others. That includes some pretty famous faces like country star Kenny Chesney.
All right, his country singer card has been revoked.
Absolutely.
Yes. Want a pair of your own? The customization process is available for men, women, and children's boots, but it will cost you. The service is $150.
Do you know what you can buy with $150 that are not these god-awful ugly boots? About 15 pairs of flip-flops.
Uh-huh. And it takes around 6 weeks to complete. That's because the boots are in high demand. To this day, Scotty can't keep a pair of redneck boot sandals without someone buying them right off his feet, the website says.
Oh yeah, I'm dead sure they just take it right off of him. Damn Alien says for $150 you could also buy scissors.
Yeah.
Do you want to know it doesn't take 6 weeks to get a pair of boot sandals? Going to Walmart and picking up sandals.
But hey, look at all these people who are wearing boot sandals.
This needs to stop being a thing. This should not be a thing. Ali, I blame you.
It's entirely Allie's fault.
Why? Why do you want to ruin a pair of boots?
So
I
many
don't know.
questions.
Some people just decide they want to. Though apparently we're speaking on masks, and Waffle House is now selling their own brand of masks.
Waffle House has a brand name mask.
Of course.
I don't care, Ali. You're Southern. That's why I'm blaming you. And this is from a site called It's a Southern Thing. Your fault.
Entire.
She says she's...
No, how's it going, Steve? No, I can't blame Steve. You're from New York. And I saw Nick's radio showed up. How's it going, Nick? I think we lost Wren again. Yeah, alright, so let's move on with some science. And hopefully the potato will pick back up.
Potato picked back up.
Well, we're moving on to science.
All right.
Let's
We need something to wash our brains from that
Oh,
stupid sandal.
Malik is saying, is Ishtar wearing those sandals with a cowboy hat on?
Ishi will happily wear cowgirl boots and a cowgirl hat, complete with, vest, corset, and snug jeans, but Ishtar will not ever wear cowgirl sandals.
I do believe there is a camera on my phone. If you have that, I would definitely love to take a few pictures.
I do not have those.
That would require getting them.
Yeah.
Nick brings up a good question. Can you cut a cowboy hat to make it a cowboy visor?
You should be slapped.
Let's get on with some science.
You sure?
Yes. Unless you have that stuff you want to put on and we can go take a few pictures.
No, but here's some new photographs that have popped up. New Loch Ness Monster photographs emerge.
Oh, son of a bitch.
A series of images showing some sort of creature emerging from the loch have recently appeared online. The images were captured by Southampton resident Steve. God damn it, Shelley! No, I have to go clean something up.
Steve,
Someone else read.
Steve, goddammit Shelley. That's a weird name. Alright, I will read while you clean up. The images were captured by Southampton resident Steve Schalise. I mean, it's close. Goddammit Shelley. Schalise. She almost got it right. Who has been on holiday in Scotland last September with his brother when they visited Urquhart Castle. While taking photographs of the opposite side of the loch, Steve noticed what he described as a ripple in the water. We can almost hear the dun-dun-dun.
Oh no, a ripple.
Before witnessing a creature emerging nearby. I started taking a couple of shots and then this big fish came to the surface and then went back down again, he said. It only appeared in one shot, and to be honest, it was something of a fluke. That is a fish. So now we know what he took a picture of. I watched for a while, as you can see from the last picture, but didn't see it again. Although he believes that the creature was more likely to be a large catfish or a seal, the images, and in particular the one above, has sparked a lot of debate online, with many believing this to be evidence of the fabled Loch Ness Monster that was debunked like 50 years ago by the people who perpetrated the fucking hoax.
Keep reading.
Others, however, including Roland Watson of the Loch Ness Mystery blog, remain unconvinced. It's almost as if he has a vested interest in the Loch Ness Monster being real. With skeptics arguing that the image has most likely been photoshopped due to the colour saturation and the presence of blurring where the creature's body meets the water. I have to say I don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster, and frankly, I think if anything is there, then there's a logical explanation for most of the sightings, said Steve. Well, good for you. Roland believes otherwise. My guess would be that what I captured was a catfish or something like that. A detailed analysis, as well as before and after shots, can be found on the Loch Ness Mystery blog. No one needs to go look and give this man any more reason to continue doing something that is going to make his family very, very disappointed in him.
You assumed that his family's disappointed.
No, I assume that they're going to be disappointed. It was debunked. The people who created it gave the blueprints, how they took the picture, and everything else. Why are people still... The Loch Ness Monster is, aside from Bigfoot, is one of the most searched, quote-unquote, cryptids that they have out there. The Loch Ness has been has been explored with machines, with radar, with sonar, with video cameras, and if this thing is supposed to be a plesiosaur, like everyone says it is, it would have been found by now. It would have died because there's not enough food in the loch to sustain it. We would have seen its body wash up on shore. Unless, of course, this is an immortal dinosaur. It's not a real thing.
I'm back.
What is wrong with people?
I don't know, but I would like it if you could tell me what's wrong with my cat and why she's stupid.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head right there.
So we have a chair backed up against my couch, or up against my desk, behind my monitors. Shelly decided that she wanted to be on my lap, so she climbed up the chair, tried to jump over the monitor, put her foot in my drink, splashing it all over my desk before she ran off. Little shit.
So you're saying you had to clean up after a wet pussy?
Yes, that's exactly what she's saying.
Fuck off.
See, Steve has the right idea. He thinks it's a mutant sea monkey.
Okay, let's go with that.
So, Florida man?
Yes. We're going to skip the commercial break this week. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Sure.
So
they know our links are below.
Yes, all of the links and everything are below. All right. What? Oh, yes. So this isn't necessarily a Florida man story. Florida man actually didn't do much interesting this week except kill a bunch of people.
I thought I sent you a Florida man.
You did, but it's not the one that's in the headline.
Ah.
So, do you guys know what an artificial womb is, right?
Yes.
It is something that has not been invented yet, but it has plans to be invented. They keep saying that it's going to take 5 years, 10 years, but they said that about, cloning dinosaurs, and we still haven't seen T-Rexes running free in the open fields. So, there's a lot of feminists that don't want the artificial womb to be a thing.
Because they'd be useless.
They're feminists. They're already useless.
I'm sorry, if your usefulness and or your ability to define yourself as a woman is based entirely on whether or not you can produce children, you have a problem.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, Ishtar. Because as we know, a transgender woman cannot give birth.
No, but she can fucking adopt.
Well, they don't want that.
They don't want anything. They need to fuck right off until they can make up their goddamn minds.
Well,
and that goes for just about every SJW. None of them know what the fuck they want.
Well, transgender women should be allowed womb transplants so they can have their own babies.
That doesn't work that way.
Especially because there's no place for the baby to come out of.
And there's no DNA that says that this is supposed to be here. Your body will reject it. It's not like a liver. It's quite literally something from another gender.
So I want you all to think about this. Let's say a transgender woman does get a womb transplant.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the baby going to come out of? His butthole?
Apparently his ass.
Or is it going to come out his pee hole? Which one is going to be more comfortable for the baby?
Neither.
Transgender women should be entitled to womb transplants to enable them to have their own babies, according to a leading British surgeon. 2 years ago, a woman in Brazil became the first mother to give birth to her child using a womb transplanted from a deceased donor to a woman. It was a major breakthrough in fertility medicine when the little girl was born healthy and weighing 5.6 pounds. It comes just 4 years after the world's first womb transplant baby from a live donor was born in Sweden in 2014. Surgeon Christopher Inglefield, founder of the London Transgender Clinic, gee, I wonder why he has a vested interest in this, says a successful uterus implant into a trans female is now achievable.
That's
All right,
a bit,
more power to him.
yeah, but you're still dealing with someone who was a woman getting one, so it's supposed to be there.
He says the procedure essentially identical to that of a cis woman's, aka females born in that gender. Except it's not identical because they don't have a womb, they don't have fallopian tubes, they don't have a cervix, they don't have anything of the internal workings of a woman.
They don't even have the right hip structure for it.
Oh, right? You see, when a woman gets pregnant, there's a bunch of things that happen. Lots of things get pushed out of the way, the hips separate. I mean, to be fair, you women, when you get pregnant, you destroy your bodies.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you are to all. You're welcome.
I mean, I'm just saying, you have a baby that plays trampoline on your bladder, can stick their toes in between your ribs, kick you in the kidneys. I mean, all of your internal organs get pushed up into your chest cavity.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is available for men, biological men. Let me be clear. So, where you asked a very perfectly reasonable question. Where's the baby gonna go? Mr. Inglefield, a specialist in gender confirmation surgery as well as facial and body feminization. Again, I bring up, it's almost as if he has a vested interest in this.
He totally doesn't. He totally doesn't.
Said, this pioneering birth is extremely important for any trans female who would like to carry her own child. Because once the medical community accept this as a treatment for cis women with uterine infertility, such as congenital absence of a womb, then it would be illegal to deny a trans female who has completed her transition.
No, again, a biological woman, let's stick with science. A biological woman born without a uterus, and it does happen, getting a uterine transplant is different because her body won't reject the uterus itself.
Yes.
They're going to go, this is supposed to be here.
Yes.
Whereas someone who's biologically male, yes, you can identify however you want. But it doesn't make things that are impossible happen.
Correct.
I'm sorry. Adopting or surrogacy is a perfectly decent option.
Yeah. I was talking about something similar to this with my coworker, and we both agreed that it is absolutely fucking bullshit that a woman has to have 2 children and her spouse's consent to get her tubes tied and be of a certain age. And we're both like, it's a woman's body. If she wants to get her tubes tied because at one point she's pretty fucking certain she doesn't want to have children, she should be allowed to do so, because it doesn't define whether or not she's a woman. If she wants to have children later, adoption, like you just said. Same thing. You don't need a womb to have kids.
Ray would like to point out that this doctor does Photoshop in real life.
Yes.
There's more, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
There are clearly
making me angry.
There are clearly anatomical boundaries when it comes to trans women, but these are problems that I believe can be surmounted, and the transplant into a trans female is essentially identical to that of a cis female. The Human Fertilization and Embryology Authority, HEFA, which is an amazing name, because heifer, cow, come on, it's funny.
No.
It is funny. But we're not going to laugh.
confirmed there are no regulations in place to prevent a trans woman who has received a uterus transplant from having IVF treatment.
Except that it wouldn't work because you don't have the right hormones, but okay.
And Mr. Inglefield describes how a transplant would work. He explained the most important step is the harvesting from the donor, as great care is required to avoid damage to the arteries and veins supplying the uterus. The actual plumbing in is straightforward. Really, it's straightforward. I would like to know where it's going. The donor vessels are connected to the pelvic artery and veins, which are the same in both males and females. With a uterus transplant in trans female, the neovagina would be opened at the pelvic end to accept the donor womb.
Okay.
The neovagina. That, for those of you who don't know what that is that's when they cut your penis up and invert it and turn it into, well, a vagina. Sort of.
More power to you if that's what you want.
I don't want to get into the grossness of what they have to do. And the same procedure is used in a cis female transplant, with the donor uterus being attached to the native vagina. Trans females have a much narrower pelvis than cis women of the same height, but there would still be room for them to carry a child. Supplemental hormones could be taken to replicate the changes that occur in the body when a woman is pregnant.
Okay. What are they going to do with the organs that are currently sitting in the pelvis?
Yeah.
Women's bodies have space because we're born with a uterus, which means that we don't have organs already sitting in our pelvis that aren't baby related.
$15 from Ghost Dog. Pooftar is here now, so purr to help with the brain pain for the ladies, more for the new potato fund. You have your own little nickname. Pooftar.
A lot better than Cranky Bitch. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, don't thank me. Thank Ghost Dog. How's it going, Ryder?
Ghost Dog.
Thank you, Ghost Dog.
Meanwhile, it's highly unlikely that a trans female would give birth naturally, but would be delivered via cesarean section in order to safeguard the child. Because, there's a penis and balls in the way.
Mm-hmm.
Other experts have also endorsed Mr. Inglefield's claims. In November last year, Dr. Richard Paulson, former president of the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, said there was no anatomical reason why a womb could not be successfully implanted into a transgender woman. He added, "You could do it tomorrow. There would be additional challenges, but I don't see any obvious problem that would preclude it. I personally suspect there are going to be trans women who are going to want to have a uterus and will likely get the transplant." Womb transplant surgery is being seen as a major cause for hope for those who suffer from Mayer-Rokitansky-Kuster-Hauser MRKH syndrome. This is when a woman fails to develop a proper uterus and vagina, yet has normal ovarian functions and normal external genitalia. Women who have...
Normal.
Yes, normal. Women who have MRKH will still go on to develop breasts and pubic hair, but they will not have a menstrual cycle. And I'm sure there's millions of women out there that are envious of that.
Lucky bitches.
The syndrome is thought to affect around 1 in every 4,500 women. That's actually a very high percentage. That's an extremely high percentage.
Yeah.
This world has 7 billion people. That's an astronomical percentage.
Who get all the perks, but yet don't have to suffer the period.
But Mr. Inglefield, who appeared in ITV's fly-on-the-wall documentary Transformation Street, says the demand among trans women could be far greater. Oh God, there's more to these. Do you want me to finish? Do we want to continue?
Can we just veto this doctor because he's trying to fight biology and nature wins. I'm sorry to say. Nature will win in the end. Nature will tell you to go fuck yourself and say no.
Again, we're quoting Jurassic Park. Life finds a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, now the fun part of that is that they're going to want that to be free.
Of course they will.
They want free healthcare, so they want to be able to. Not only do feminist women want to get abortions on demand for free whenever they want them, they also are going to want to have transgender women be able to get womb transplants for free.
Will the feminists give up their wombs to the transgender people?
Of course not. They're not going to do that. They're going to make other women do it.
No. Do we want something cute, Ishii?
Please.
Okay. How about dozens of teddy bears take over a theme park?
That sounds like fun.
Okay. Dozens of teddy bears take over theme park super swing, and it's unbearably cute.
Really?
Yes.
So while you read this, I will play the video.
The Wobbly Holland theme park in Netherlands put its oversized, fluffy teddy bears on the super swing ride and filmed the adorable action. The same bears went viral last month when they took over the park's untamed roller coaster. Like many theme parks around the world, Wobbly Holland has been shuttered to help stop the spread of the coronavirus, but it's reopened now with limitations on capacity to continue the fight against the infection. The rules do not apply to the teddy bears. And there's the rest of it's a video.
Cute.
See, look. Teddy bears on a swing. Does that make you feel better?
It does help my temper, yes.
Steve thinks a few of them should go flying.
They clearly are wearing their seatbelts like they're supposed to be.
They are practicing
smart.
safety, except for the monkeys. Or are those? What are those? Those are sloths. Except for the sloths, they're just kind of hanging on the chains.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
The sloths don't give no fucks.
Now, Yaknamena brings up a good point. Are they enforcing height requirements?
Clearly not, if the teddy bears can get on.
Alright, so there is a video of them on the roller coaster. I don't know if the music is copyrighted, so...
Hands up, bears! Hands up!
Come on, paws up, teddy bears. Look.
I mean, you know what? This is actually a really good marketing campaign.
Yep.
Because now kids are going to see that and go, Mommy, I want to go on the ride that the teddy bears were on.
Or they want to ride with the teddy bears.
That too.
Or one kid goes, Mommy, I don't care about the virus. Can you put me on the ride with all the teddy bears?
Teddy bears would be a good way to enforce social distancing on the rides. You just put teddy bears in between people.
But you'd be risking people stealing the teddy bears.
Well, you'd have to make sure that they were locked down.
Zio Gold says, if you see a panda, run!
Don't run from the panda.
Alright. Do we want to go on to science?
Sure.
You sure?
Yes. The one I was going for has disappeared. Hold on, let me get it back up. Because it is also, I think, a relatively wholesome article. And it is also about a park. Exploding Whale Memorial Park, honoring a whale that went out with a bang.
Wait, what? How is that the same? One is about teddy bears, one is about an exploding whale.
It's the same.
They're both parks.
They're both parks. They count.
A newly named Oregon park commemorates an important and gory piece of local history.
Of course, it's Oregon.
The dynamiting of a dead whale that took place 50 years ago.
Now that sounds like a fun event.
Exploding Whale Memorial Park in Florence, Oregon is named for the explosive event of November 12, 1970.
Oh,
If she yawned.
everyone take a shot.
When local officials blew up a beached and decomposing sperm whale measuring 45 feet long and weighing about 8 tons. Local news stations filmed the spectacular explosion, which had the unfortunate aftermath of showering everything and everyone in the immediate vicinity with bits of dead whale. Who didn't see that one coming?
Apparently the people who blew up the whale.
It's fine. Just stand here.
November would have marked the 50th anniversary of the whale's Big Bang, and the town on the southern Oregon coast planned to announce the park's new name in May at the 113th annual Florence Rhododendron Festival, which had a special theme this year, Blast from the Past.
But
But the festival had to be canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and City of Florence unveiled the park's new sign in a dedication ceremony on June 13th. According to the Siuslaw News, the park is located along the Siuslaw River on Rhododendron Drive. Of 124 names that people in the community initially proposed for the park, 9 were picked as finalists, with the winner to be decided in a Name the Park survey.
oh, I hope that wasn't online.
She
Parky
yawned
McPark
again.
face. I've been short on sleep for the past couple days.
Mm.
Most of the names on the list spoke to the site's natural beauty. Rolling Tides Community Park, Dune View Park, and Little Tree Park were several of the less gruesome options. But Exploding Whale Memorial Park won in a landslide with 439 votes of the 856 submitted, according to the statement.
Does anyone remember Boaty McBoatface?
Yes.
Someone came up with Exploding Whale Memorial Park, and you know the people who put that contest on went, son of a bitch.
Because they immediately knew what was going to happen.
Mountain Dew tried to internet name that thing contest.
So did McDonald's.
And that park's lucky Hitler wasn't involved in any of the names.
Yeah.
It could have been worse, Park. It could have been worse.
Is this the actual video of the whale getting blown up?
I do not know.
We're gonna find out.
Uh,
You keep reading. I'm gonna play the video.
In 1970, the dead, decaying sperm whale that washed up near Florence posed a serious health hazard. It was too big to drag away or bury, and the officials decided to get rid of the stinking corpse with dynamite, blasting it into manageable, bite-sized chunks that scavenging birds and crabs would then clean up, according to the Oregon Historical Society.
Ew.
But when engineers set off the half-ton of explosives, the blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds.
Hold on. They thought a half-ton of explosives wasn't a bit too much.
no.
It
It was only a half ton. It wasn't a ton.
Look, I understand that in certain aspects of life, there's never such a thing as too many explosives. But when you're blowing up a whale, leave the C4 at home.
One hefty slab of blubber landed on an unoccupied parked car about a quarter-mile from the blast site, crushing the roof. Everyone nearby was drenched with dead whale.
That poor person having to call their insurance company. Yeah. My car was crushed by what?
Blubber.
Blubber.
Part of a whale.
Oh, there's a part of a whale on top of my car.
Tom Leach says, We may have overdone it, said Park Ranger Michael Bay. All right,
Here's the thing, though. After the explosion, much of the whale's body was still in big chunks that were much too large for small scavengers to carry away. And the demolition crew ended up burying the carcass pieces on the beach. So it didn't even work. They just made a gigantic mess.
So, okay, when a branch or a tree or something falls on your car, it's called an act of God, right? Your insurance usually doesn't cover it.
Yes.
I don't think they can call this an act of God.
No, because they'd call the park going, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah.
That big of an explosion did not destroy the whale.
No.
That
You cannot destroy the whale.
That was Mother Nature going, fuck you.
That was what Mother Nature was doing.
I
She
mean-
was going, ha ha.
Anyone who has seen the original Tremors knows for a fact what happens when you blow something up like that.
Big chunks.
Chunks just fall from the sky everywhere.
Yep.
And then there's the lingering fat blubber mist that just hangs in the air and gets on people. Look at it, it's gross.
Uh-huh.
That poor car got fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
It was a half mile away. A half mile away.
Quarter mile.
Quarter mile away. Cloudy. No, they blew up in Tremors. The original Tremors, they blew them up. In Tremors 2, they learned how to fly.
I thought Tremors 2 was when they were blind and two-legged.
And why couldn't they have
Yeah,
given
and
the
learned
whale
how
a
to
Viking-
fly.
Why couldn't they have just given the whale a Viking send-off and find a way to shove it back into the ocean?
Well,
Sharks love it.
It was 45 tons.
They
It
have.
wasn't
They
going
have,
to go anywhere.
they have bulldozers.
They might have been able to rig chains into it, get some boats to tow it.
Was flying Tremors 3?
I think flying was Tremors 3 because I don't remember flying in Tremors 2.
But I do remember they got smaller and could sense through heat.
Yes, that was Tremors 2.
Okay.
And they discovered that sweet snack foods make them reproduce.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, my turn? Or your turn?
No, it's my turn. I don't know how to follow up a half ton of dynamite not destroying a full whale.
Well, that is a question you should figure out.
I mean,
How do you follow that up?
we can continue going with the animal theme,
Why not?
or we could talk about a Florida woman who hired a hitman.
Ooh.
Both of those seem perfectly viable.
Let's leave it up to the chat. 1 in the chat for an animal-themed Florida man story, or a 2 in the chat for a Florida woman story involving a hitman. Ishtar, you do not look happy.
Just... I'm fine.
All right.
All right. Do we have to bring back the teddy bears later?
No, it's fine.
Yagdameno says, I have to fill out that bingo card. 1. All right. So we have 2 2s, 1 1. Steve Fernandez says he just saw a video of a dynamite lady blowing herself up. Steve, I think that was on a different... That's a different type of video.
Yeah.
TM Ryder says 1 because I'm wondering what animal, but 2 has a hitman. What? All right, Wren. You know, I'll let Wren choose
Okay.
because
So
we're tied.
1 was an animal.
2 was a hitman.
Let's go Hitman.
Hitman it is. So, I'm hoping Ishtar doesn't do this to Matt eventually. But we'll find out. Florida woman had hitman kill her stepfather to collect on life insurance.
Unless Matt's her father, I don't think that he has to worry.
I was talking about life insurance.
Oh.
So it's not even a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not like millions. The stepdad was killed 2 weeks after the insurance policy was changed from 25 grand to 750 grand. A 31-year-old woman has been charged with collecting $750,000 in life insurance after having a hitman bump off her stepfather last year, Florida police said Tuesday. Deland police accused Maisha Williams of hatching the murder-for-hire plot, which led to the shooting death of Terrence Gibson, 59, by a masked gunman in January of 2019. She was charged with first-degree murder. The investigation revealed that Williams' motive was an insurance policy, which she recently had increased the value in the event of Mr. Gibson's death. Chief Jason Umberger told a news conference. That's a horrible last name to get stuck with.
Really is.
He said the value of the insurance policy was increased from $25,000 to $750,000 2 weeks prior to the murder. Now, I'm going to have you guys guess the specific race of the person.
Oh, the hitman or the person killed?
No, the woman that was arrested.
White?
Hispanic.
The last name was Williams.
White.
Very white.
TM Rider says Asian. So you're going with white?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, with the name Maisha.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
the first name gave it away.
Maisha looks like she got involved with Jabba the Hutt.
Oh. Ew.
Be
No.
nice.
I am being nice. This woman hired someone to kill her stepfather for money.
That is a horrible person, but you can still be nice.
Have you seen her picture?
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, she looks like she got engaged to Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
The chief said Williams was the sole beneficiary. Shocker. He also said detectives believe she drove the getaway car for the killer.
Well, why not? It saves you money, right?
Yeah, asked about that relationship, Umberger said. Well, they had a relationship in that we believe she hired him to kill her stepfather. Officials didn't say how much Williams allegedly paid the man to shoot Gibson. The station reported that Gibson was hanging around a campfire with others at a place called The Watering Hole when he was killed. The Daytona News-Journal quoted detectives as saying the alleged shooter was Perry Stanley Sr. and that he would also be charged with murder. The paper reported that Stanley was behind bars in Orange County for other crimes and that he was her boyfriend. The paper quoted an arrest report saying that Williams spoke to the insurer to change the life insurance policy and handed the phone to a man to confirm the change. The report says detectives asked Gibson's mother to identify the man's voice, and she said it wasn't her son's, according to the paper.
Well, to be fair, your voice can sound different over the phone versus in person.
Agreed.
I mean, she got to enjoy that $750 of meth for at least a year.
Mm.
Or at least.
Ray says, how much will she pay me for Captain Solo and the Wookiee?
Oh.
All right, let's go with some cringe. And I know you haven't done your.
I have not. Mom left in stitches by Poundland garden ornament that belongs in the bedroom. Poundland is a great place to pick up a few bargains, from household products to everyday essentials. Its random assortment of stock often sees shoppers leaving the store clutching items they had never knew they needed. But one mom was left in hysterics after wandering into the gardening section and finding a very X-rated looking ornament, with others joking it belonged at a bedside table.
Oh, it's England's equivalent of a Dollar Tree.
Yes. The metallic mushroom intended to adorn flower beds or garden paths instead appears to resemble something else entirely.
Yeah, that looks like something you would buy for £1. And if she uses it right, she's definitely in for £1.
Oh, yeah. A photo of the bargain ornament was shared with 1.4 million members of the Extreme Couponing and Bargains UK group Facebook page, where it racked up more than 10,000 reactions and 2,300 comments. Shoppers captioned the snap, "Amazing bargain in Poundland. Although I couldn't bring myself to buy this mushroom for my daughter's fairy garden, others might." Fellow members left in stitches as comments flooded in, many of which were as inappropriate as the mushroom itself. Some were able to control themselves and left slightly more PG replies, including one that said, "I think it's for the lady garden." A second said, "I saw it yesterday in my Poundland. They might need to rethink the design. Vivid imagination comes to mind."
She saw it yesterday in her Poundland, so it means she bought it and pounded her own land at home.
Yeah. Another asked, "Are you sure you were in the garden department?" And a fourth suggested, "Get your heads out of the gutter."
Why?
I'm sorry, it's a giant metal dick.
Yeah. It's not the only time a rude-looking item left customers shocked. Recently, after a dad of two shared a photo of a carrot delivered in a Tesco order resembling a man exposing his penis, Matthew Whitaker and his wife shared a photo of the veg shaped like two legs with an appendage hanging down between. He joked that he'd still be eating it, but won't be serving it to his children as it's too inappropriate.
Do we want to see the carrot?
Let's look at the carrots.
All right, let's see the carrot. There we go. All right, hold on. It's loading.
It's a big carrot.
It's a There you go. Yeknamena, your mind has never left the gutter.
That's
Well,
true.
Yeah, what's no fun if your mind leaves the gutter?
I mean, that definitely. What's the term we came up? What that the forbidden fruit came up with? A man carrot.
That it's a man carrot.
That is
It's a
definitely.
shower. It's a shower, not a grower. I'm sorry, it's a grower, not a shower.
Ray asks, "Is that Donald Trump bottomless?"
Oh.
All right, so another version of the man carrot. Are we? So let's go with some science, shall we?
Okay. Ancient village was destroyed by a comet.
Ooh.
A new study has indicated from a comet 13,000 years ago. Situated in northern Syria, the village of Abu Huraira was originally settled by primitive hunter-gatherers who had lived off the land until a drought forced them to switch to a primitive form of farming. Then, one day, somewhere around 13,000 years ago, while Ugg was, just doing his thing, enjoying the day,
Playing with his man carrot.
Yeah,
Playing with his man carrot, yeah.
planting a man carrot. A cataclysmic event suddenly wiped the village off the map, and he never got to enjoy that carrot. Nobody else been able to agree on exactly what happened. Evidence unearthed during an archaeological dig at the site in the 1970s indicated that the settlement was engulfed in flames. However, it has remained unclear if the blaze had been started on the ground or if some sort of destructive cosmic event had occurred in the region. Now-
As Steve pointed out, God said, "Fuck this village in particular."
Yeah.
I don't
Now-
like this village.
Now, archaeologist Andrew Moore, who had led the team who originally excavated the site, has taken a renewed look at the evidence in an attempt to solve the mystery once and for all. By using experimental techniques to replicate the materials found at the village, the researchers were able to determine that certain minerals found in the soil would have required temperatures in excess of 2,000 degrees Celsius to melt, something that could not have been achieved with a conventional fire.
Especially with Oog trying to rub his man carrot hard enough.
I know. It is impossible to explain these melted minerals on melt glass by any natural process other than a cosmic impact event, said Moore. The most likely culprit, the researchers now believe, was cometary debris cluster. The largest cometary debris clusters are proposed to be capable of causing thousands of airbursts within a span of minutes across one entire hemisphere of Earth, they wrote. An encounter with such a 1,000,000-kilometer wide debris cluster would be thousands of times more probable than a collision with a 100-kilometer wide comet or a 10-kilometer wide asteroid.
Do you feel better about telling people how Oog lost his life because God said "fuck you"?
But which god?
I don't know. God asks Antoine, "What did you do?" "I don't know. I wasn't alive 13,000 years ago." I blame Wren.
No. You blame Panda. We've already agreed on that.
It's Snoofle's fault.
Sniffles!
Snoofles.
All right, I'll read the animal one now.
Okay.
Well, I have two of them. One that involves the winged kind, and one that involves a four-legged kind.
Oh, 4 legs is good.
Snoofles has decided to join us.
All right, 4 legs it is. Are you sure, Panda?
I'm sure.
Okay. Dead iguana found in freezer of Florida pizza parlor.
Oh, new pizza topping?
Ew.
No. An employee told reporters that the reptile was given as a personal gift to the owner.
What? Is that like getting a horse head in your bed?
It's a nice gift.
File it under pizza toppings only offered in Florida. State inspectors found an 80-pound iguana stashed in the freezer at a local pizza joint. 80 pounds? That's a big fucking lizard.
That's a nice pizza.
It is not a small lizard, no.
Pizza Mambo in West Palm Beach was forced to close for a day last week following the inspection by the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. The restaurant could not be reached for comment, but an employee told the South Florida Sun-Sentinel that the reptile was given as a personal gift to the owner. It was stored in a separate freezer away from the restaurant's food and was immediately trashed after they were informed of the violation.
Why? What? Why would you keep?
Reasons.
Non-native iguanas are multiplying so rapidly in South Florida that the state wildlife agency has been encouraging people to kill them. Iguanas aren't dangerous or aggressive to humans, but they damage seawalls, sidewalks, landscape foliage, and can dig lengthy tunnels. The males can grow at least 5 feet and weigh nearly 20 pounds. And female iguanas can lay nearly 80 eggs a year. The reptile is considered a delicacy by some. One company even makes iguana sausages and burgers.
Ew.
So iguana pizza.
So there's a difference, though. They're saying that the invasive species that you're allowed to kill only gets up to about 20 pounds. This thing was 80 pounds.
Well-fed lizard.
Or its stomach held meth.
Entirely possible. That would explain why it was a gift.
Steve, I don't think we've heard this one before. Alright, let's move on to cringe.
All right. We will go to Louisiana man faces charges for swimming in sporting goods store fish tank.
Okay.
That's not what it's for.
No, but TikTok.
Of course. Of course it's for social media clout. Why would I think otherwise?
In Bossier City, LA, Louisiana, yeah. Police in Louisiana were able to reel in a man captured on video swimming through a fish tank in a sporting goods store. Kevin Wise, 26,
Which he is
told
not.
KLSA TV that he plunged into the indoor aquarium at a Bass Pro Shop in Bossier City last week to follow through on a promise he made to followers on social media platform TikTok.
Of course.
I said if I got 20,000 likes, 2,000 likes, I would jump in the tank, Wise said. I got way more than that and didn't want to be a liar.
Do you want to know how you solve the problem of getting arrested? You make friends with the person who's closing that night and ask them if you can do it.
Yeah.
Yakimeno knows who this person is.
A video captured by a shopper, Treasure McGraw, showed Wise swimming through the tank before climbing out and running from the store in wet clothes.
Wait, his name is Treasure McGraw?
The person caught a video of it was named Treasure, yes.
Shelly, if you knock anything else over while jumping over my screen, we're going to have a talk after the show.
And by talk, there's going to be concrete shoes involved.
Entirely possible.
We heard a big splash, and I thought it was one of the fish, McGraw said to the news outlet. My fiance was like, someone is in the tank, and we saw the guy swimming. Bass Pro Shop filed a complaint with the Bossier City Police Department Friday, saying it cost the money to empty out the 13,000-gallon aquarium to clean it after Wise's swim. Wise was charged with a simple criminal damage to property and released with a citation to appear in court, police say. He planned on continuing to make videos for his followers, but cautioned others against doing similar spur-of-the-moment pranks.
You mean because it wasn't fucking dumb to begin with?
Of course it was.
He wants to do it for TikTok.
Doing stupid shit for internet clout is not all that it's chalked up to be. Ask Andy Warski. He set his nipples on fire.
Ow.
Because someone paid him to do it.
I'm sorry, just ow.
No.
Those are sensitive, even on guys.
Just no.
Alright, let's read another animal one.
Okay.
So, this Florida man is trapped on a property
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
with hundreds of parrots.
Oh, no. Parrots are noisy birds.
This bird sanctuary has no path out.
Oh.
Tampa, Florida. With a legal battle underway, a Florida man has had no choice but to spend every day and every night at his bird sanctuary with only a couple hundred parrots to keep him company. The Tampa Bay Times reports that Majad Magic Eshmeli from Zaxby, Florida Bird Sanctuary recently contacted the newspaper about his predicament.
Mm-hmm.
Esmeli's 5-acre sanctuary is surrounded on all sides by other people's property, leaving him with no way to get in and out. According to the report, Esmeli used to have an agreement with neighbor Linda Fowler. He has a neighbor. Fowl. Get it? It's funny.
Oh.
That allowed him and others visiting the sanctuary, including volunteers who help care for the birds, to use a path through her property that led to a public road. Fowler told the newspaper she was over Esmeli acting like a madman and scaring customers away from her horseback riding ranch. Because of that, she put up 2 locked gates and decided to take Esmeli to court. While a judge initially ruled in Fowler's favor, the case is currently in appeal and a stay has been granted to require Fowler to open the gate and allow Esmeli to use the path until the appeal is decided. That should happen in a few days. But in the meantime, Esmeli said he's been struggling to feed himself and his 200 parrots, and describing himself in an email to the Times as a prisoner in his own property. Listen, if you have an agreement with your neighbor that allows you to enter and exit something that you own, it is probably best not to piss them off.
It's also probably best to maybe buy some property off her and make your own entrance and exit while you're on good terms with them.
Well,
Yeah.
Ghost Dog said he's going to start going nuts soon. I would say he's already nuts.
He's stuck with 200 parrots.
Yes.
Why does he have 200 parrots?
It's a sanctuary.
That's not a good reason. Because I say it's not a good reason.
All right. Here's something that may... well, do we want to just end it here, or do you want to read your last article, Wren?
Ishii, you want to just go hit the sack?
Yeah.
Let's just
I'm worn
end it.
out, guys.
Let's let Ishii get her beauty rest.
Anymore, and she's going to be a supermodel.
Exactly. If she
Y'all
gets
are
more sleep,
sweet.
if she gets more sleep, she'll be a supermodel next week.
I wish. I just need to sleep.
All right,
I'm probably
ladies.
gonna fall asleep on the couch in about 10 minutes.
All right, ladies. I'll keep the exit short then.
Yes.
This has been MSNBC, my snarky news broadcasting channel. All of the news, none of the pants. My name is Antoine the Great, and I have been joined by 2 gorgeous co-hosts. One who I can almost guarantee has gone back to not wearing pants is Wren from Wren Relations and Shitlords Anonymous.
Yes. Well, pants are oppressive. We don't need them.
As well as Ishtar from her own Twitch streams and where she helps with voices over on Cyber Demon Gaming.
Free the legs, no pants. No pants, no comfort.
And I just want to say thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have been entertained in these hectic times. And I know I can speak for both of Ishtar and Wren when I say this to you. Zombie lives matter. Have a good night, everyone.
Nope.